On this special edition episode number 13 of Lancaster Connects, we're joined by Benton Webber to talk about Lancaster Water Week, something he is very passionate about. You'll see it and hear it. And we have a top-notch food truck fundraiser you won't want to miss. So how can you support the local Lancaster community?
That's what this show is all about. We are in the Dream Room at Gardner's
Live
Mattress & More.
from the Dream Room.
It's Lancaster Connects. It's brought to you by the Sleep Better book, written by Gardner's Mattress & More and Jeff Giannakovo. We'll mail you a copy, free copy. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better.
Yeah, so it's Memorial Day Monday. We were not able to record our usual Memorial Day Monday recording, but we kind of threw it up. Our production team challenged us to get in an exciting guest about Water Week coming up. So we wanted to get this out instead of our rundown of our clips that we've had from the last 12 episodes. So we decided to do it. So we've got a great guest, Benton Webber, coming up to talk to us all about Lancaster Water Week.
I think he's the first friend of the show.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
become a guest.
I think it's a fan.
He's it's like super fan.
We've got fandom. And we've got a really great food truck fundraiser to help the Occupational Development Center here in town. And then we'll wrap up the episode of some hijinks, some hilarity, some comedy, whatever you want to call it, from our clips from our first 12 episodes. But we had the honor and the opportunity to record Benton Webber to talk about his Water Week and really his passion for it and everything that goes on with Water Week here in Lancaster. So without too much further ado, here's our time with Benton. On this special episode on Memorial Day Monday, we have a special guest, Benton Webber, who is a municipal engineer for Lancaster Township, but also just an overall great contributor to our community. Benton has given us some history nuggets. He's brought attention of the Stevens Greenland Cemetery, raising the profile of that, how you can help out to keep it clean and tidy. And Benton, you're here on the show today. Welcome to talk about Water Week and, really anything else that you think our community should know about. But let's jump into why Water Week is important for you and really what Water Week is all about.
Sure. Thanks so much for this chance to talk about something I'm really excited about. The Lancaster Conservancy is a local nonprofit organization that for the last 50 years has been saving woodlands and special environmental places all throughout our county. They do amazing work to preserve, educate, restore, and make these places open to the public. And over the last 6 years or so, Lancaster Conservancy has created a special annual event called Water Week. Usually it's held in the early part of June. And what they try to do, and they've been doing it so successfully, is to engage with the public at a wide variety of levels. They have been developing more and more activities for people to get involved in, to learn about. Last year, obviously, was a very difficult year for many of us, and the Conservancy still did the Water Week project. They bumped it into August and shifted some of the in-person events to online events. But this coming year, they have a series of projects and events starting on June the 4th with some educational, a First Friday event at the Science Factory. They're doing several workshops in their Welsh Mountain Nature Preserve, also stream side care on Monday the 5th, a Cosmic Bash Family Fun Fest at North Museum. That sounds like a hoot. Then they get into water filters and hydropower, paddling event that is going to be happening also on the 5th. and then various other days of uh, events that involve hikes in their Climbers Run Nature Preserve, a stream restoration tour, a Trees of Peace event in Buchanan Park. Um, then they're helping to sponsor several other forums for municipalities for education of food farming and connection with water. And then on the 8th, there's this little event that I'm going to be doing. It's an online lecture, and it's called History of the Conestoga Part 2. Damn it, basically looking at dams on the Conestoga River. And we're hoping a lot of dam people will show up and ask all the dam questions they want. And I'll be talking about the dams and then, indicating how it's done great. They've done great things for the county and some pretty gooky things as well. So I hope y'all might tune in. They did record last year's History of the Conestoga River Part 1, and that's available on the Conservancy YouTube channel. It's worth every single minute of it if you wanted to take a look. Then later on in the week, after they come down off of the peak, which was my lecture, then they'll also be doing some more educational work and tours. A Chickies Creek Stomp at Little Chickies Park. The neat event called Bugs in the Ecosystem, which I think is really fascinating. I'm not a real bug expert, but I know that insects and macroinvertebrates and stuff really do help to restore our ecosystem, especially along the Conestoga River. Then there's going to be a paddle on the last day, on the 12th, a paddle from Marietta to Columbia. That, of course, will be along the Susquehanna River. Also that day, June the 12th, is a multiple location volunteer Conestoga cleanup, where folks are going out into the river and they're pulling trash out. There was this incredible group of folks from the Conestoga River Club and from Millersville University. They got together and did this massive cleanup just earlier this year at the Windolph Landing Park in Lancaster Township. The items that were pulled out were then created by Millersville University students to create this odd art sculpture on campus. So that was written up in the newspaper and was pretty cool. But there's so much stuff that has been dumped into the Conestoga River for decades. We just don't realize it's been buried. It's been, washed ashore. It's degrading, deteriorating away, and causing inorganic chemicals and toxins to be released and killing off a lot of the those bugs and macroinvertebrates that we really need to have a healthy river. So I am super excited for Lancaster Township to be able to partner with Lancaster Conservancy to offer these opportunities for education, for involvement, for engagement, for donations, because Lancaster Conservancy is looking to raise funding through all this awareness that they're raising. But the work that they do to preserve the woodlands and the environment that we have in the county is just completely unique. It's just wonderful. So I really thank you for this chance to grab your microphone for a few minutes, and I do hope that things go well for you guys, and good fortune in helping everybody get a good night's rest.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We do appreciate that. So let's dig into the Conestoga River cleanup a little bit. I'll have you tell us. I've got a question for you, but then where do people sign up for Water Week events and specifically the Conestoga River cleanup? Because you've got 12 miles of it in Lancaster Township specifically.
Yeah, we sure do.
Tending to cleaning up.
Right. So it's not open for all 12 miles for people to go down to the river and pull stuff out. Some of it, frankly, isn't safe for people to go down in. Other spots, there's stinging nettles and poison ivy and all kinds of nasty stuff. So we want to have it organized. We want to keep it safe. We want to keep it well coordinated. A lot of the other municipalities are joining in as well. Lancaster City, East Lampeter Township, Upper Laycock Township, several others are helping out, and they are actually hauling the trash away after it gets extracted and then gathered together. But if people would like to sign up, I would encourage them to do an internet search on Lancaster Conservancy Water Week. And then there are a variety of videos that folks can look at, information that they'd like to learn about. There's a series of videos, including last year's High Mark, the history of Conestoga River, part one. That was last year, so they can take a look at that. And then there's also the whole list of all the events. And if you click on June the 12th, Conestoga Cleanup, that'll take you to another page that shows all the different locations where folks can be involved and allows them to sign up. So really would hope that everybody could take a look at that and get involved in the way that suits them best.
Benton, it sounds like these events and maybe the cleanup too sounds like they're kid friendly and family friendly. Would you describe them that way?
For the most part, some of the Conestoga cleanup work, parents would want to make sure that they stay with their children, monitor what they're doing, so that they're well protected and well watched over. Some of the trash cleanup in years past has been close to roads, and we've been very concerned about children wandering off, and we just don't want that to happen. So parents are encouraged, especially on the Conestoga cleanup, to watch over their children. But there's a whole host of other things that are especially geared for children at the Science Factory, at the North Museum. Where those facilities know how to receive and welcome and communicate with children. So there's some great stuff online. There's also some videos online for children that I think are really well geared for them.
Yeah. Question I thought of here as we're talking. So what is the most common piece of trash, debris that you trudge out, that you get out of the river, and where should it go that somebody might not be aware of instead of going in?
Yeah. The most common and annoying are tires, automobile tires.
I thought that.
Sometimes even with the wheels and the hubcaps left on them.
Oh, wow.
We pulled a full tractor tire out of the river near my house up in Manheim Township on Saturday, a full tractor tire. And I got to roll that across the ground and into the dumpster that Manheim Township had donated for our use. We pulled a fiberglass hull of a boat out. And years past, the Conestoga River cleanup has pulled an ATM, a money machine out. Now, I don't know if we found any moolah in it, but for sure it had moolah at some point, and somebody decided to dump the evidence by dumping it in the river. The weirdest thing that I've ever known to be pulled out of Conestoga is a vending machine for billiard balls. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And why would somebody dump it in the river?
That makes sense.
Right? Right?
That seems to me like it would be like an antique for somebody, like a arcade or. So
I'll look into that to see if I can get that delivered to your place if you wanted to restore it. Yeah.
That was like for decades.
Maybe decades could use it.
Billiard tables, maybe, but.
Yeah, right.
On the car tires.
You guys had them on.
On the car tires. For car tires, is that something that Lancaster County Solid Waste Management would be able to take
Solid
in
waste.
there on Harrisburg Pike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a
that's the
tremendous
place to
asset
take it.
there.
Yeah. And the Solid Waste Management Authority, Laxwama, they are a participant in the Conestoga River cleanup as well, because they allow the municipalities that are pulling this trash out, they allow them free tipping fees. So we have a specified window
That's
of
great.
time when we can roll in and just dump everything that comes out of the river, and there's been a lot. So God bless them for helping us out with that. So some of the
Yeah, that's
employees of
great.
Laxwama have also come out and pitched a hand pulling this stuff out of the river. So it's just a really great community effort that has come together through the Conservancy.
Just out of sheer curiosity, have you ever found anything maybe antique that's been worth money that's been able to be restored and that money goes back to the Conservancy? Anything like that?
Not that I know of, and certainly not that I've seen, but I've heard tell that scuba divers actually go in and they found pocket watches. They found some firearms. They find spectacles, and I don't know if those things are worth money or if they're just an item of curiosity. But there's been some things that have been found when we go in and pull stuff out. We're just ripping and tugging, so it's not really something that we're trying to salvage and save. But who knows what else has been found?
Yeah. Are you kayak on the river there or canoe? You get into any of those activities yourself?
The Conestoga River Club is a new nonprofit group, and they really encourage kayaking and enjoyment of the river. They've invited me out a few times. They actually took members of city council out on a recent kayak trip to help Lancaster City government officials see the river in a completely different way. I haven't done that yet. I've been out on a canoe, and unfortunately, you go in a canoe and you're drafting a little deeper than on a kayak. And I had to get out and tug the canoe more than I was able to paddle it. So that was kind of frustrating. But you get some parts of the river is just beautiful. It really is. Others, it's not so much the Conestoga as it's the Conestinky. It's some places where the combined sewer overflow comes out into the river. It's really not all that pleasant. But we're dealing with it as a community. We're trying to make it better, and kayaking and getting people more familiar with it as a river rather than a ditch is something that I hope we can all achieve.
Well, that's great. Well,
I've had some friends do the kayaking and even do tubes, float down the Conestoga on tubes, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, I heard that a couple decades ago, one of the boys from Kunzler Meat, I think it was the late John Kunzler, he had an airboat, that rides on top of the water and it has the propeller behind it. And he ran up and down. That was a story I'd heard. And I trust you guys know that the Conestoga used to be a lot deeper, and there was a steamship paddle wheel boat that went from East King Street down to Rocky Springs. So it was an amazing river back then. Yeah. So there's a neat article in this past Sunday's newspaper with a lot of great information that was pulled together. Me and a couple other knuckleheads who love the Conestoga River, we were interviewed and provided information about the history of the Conestoga. It's amazing stories. That's amazing. So,
well, that's great. Well, Benton, I really appreciate you joining us. We hope that people can, first of all, come out and help. Okay, so we're going to get all the details of Water Week, all the stuff you talked about, the links, make it a little easier for people. LancasterConnects.com is always the hub for these episodes. this episode here where you're joining us on, a little different with Memorial Day Monday. Our obligations for the business lead us to record this early, so we're happy to have Benton on here for episode 13, along with some clips from the previous 12 episodes. But LancasterConnects.com's got all the information, so you can connect with Benton ahead of time in advance of Water Week to help with the cleanup, learn about all the festivities that are otherwise geared for your family or your interests around Water Week. The River Club about kayaking, a lot of fun. Our production team loves kayaking. Apparently, they've been whispering in my ear, so that's great. You've inspired them too. It is the Conestoga River Club that does the kayaking. Is that right? In the canoeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are a couple of private outfitters who will, rent canoes and kayaks and do shuttle services for people. So it's really kind of a burgeoning activity. I love it. I just love it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thank you for sharing it, and thank you for being a part of positive action in our community, helping out. We really appreciate you giving back. That's what the show's about, and
Sure.
That's why we launched the podcast, to shine light on folks like yourself and those actions and activities that people can take and do in our community. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Great. And props to you guys for spreading the word.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, it wouldn't be an episode of Lancaster Connects without a food truck part to the episode. So this special edition episode of Lancaster Connects, we've got a really great food truck fundraiser for you. And Ben's going to tell you all about it.
I always feel like there's an emergency with the fire trucks in the background.
Man, got to get to the good food truck food.
That's true. Yeah, it's an emergency. You got to get there before they sell out, right?
Absolutely.
So Saturday, June 5th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Stauffer Park, the Occupational Development Center and Manheim Township Recreation Department are having their second attempt at their third annual ODC food truck event at Stauffer Park. Unfortunately, COVID canceled their attempt last year, so they could use a lot of hungry mouths this year for support. They will have delicious food from a variety of food trucks, which we will get to in just a moment, plus music. There's fun for the kids, police cars, fire engines to tour, as well as other family-friendly activities. Last time around, they had more than 3,000 people in attendance, and many of the food trucks sold out. I think this year they're going to have even more food, so raise more money. Please bring cash. That's important. A lot of the food trucks are cash only, and there will also be local product raffles and a 50-50 raffle that requires cash. So definitely bring your cash. Please silence your cell phones. Jeffrey.
Sorry.
If you plan on hanging out and enjoying the music and entertainment, please bring lawn chairs and blankets. And without further ado, the food trucks in attendance are the Reunion Food Truck, Grape Leaf Cafe, Lickety Split, which is hand-dipped ice cream, Blazin' Jays, M&M Catering LLC, G's Concessions, Kurt's Concessions, The Crazy Train, Scoop-O-Dough, Savories, Funnel Cakes, Stir It Up Steph, and Bubble Wow Waffles. Any idea what Bubble Wow Waffles is?
I'm fixing to find out.
Oh, yeah? At Stauffer Park?
Stauffer Park.
June 5th.
Yeah.
11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they are, Stauffer Park is 1241 Lidditz Pike in Lancaster.
Sounds like an amazing event. So bring a big appetite and bring some, you can't bring Bitcoin or Dogecoin. You got to bring cash. So bring a wallet full of cash. All right. And help out the folks there. Last year has been really tough for everybody. This is a great way to kind of hit the reset for them and help them with their fundraising efforts. Sounds like it'll be a great day there at Stauffer Park. So in this special edition episode, we're going to continue on, and it's time for some amazing clips of the last 12 episodes of Lancaster Connects.
Coming to you live from the Dream Room at Gardner's Mattress and More. Welcome to Lancaster Connects.
Hey, so we are very excited to produce this show, Lancaster Connects. The whole idea here is to gather local charities, local heroes, local businesses to showcase the very best of what Lancaster has to offer. So our local neighbors and friends can really thrive, be more productive, be happier, and live generously. And this show brings together all those great people. So I have a little admission for you. We are very, very good at helping our customers wake up happy, wake up pain-free with a new mattress and sleep system. But dipping our toes into podcasting and video production podcasting, I can promise you this, we will have some mistakes. Here we are, episode 2. It feels like it took forever to get from 1 to 2.
It's only one number away.
Right, I know, but boy, that divide is pretty wide, like the Grand Canyon.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Ben, we're here. Episode
here.
3.
Dude, you're looking some 1080p right now.
1080p. So a little inside joke there. We've to bring you this great podcast, this great quality podcast, and I will say thanks to our production team at Get Super Cereal. They've helped us all along the way, helped us understand what we need to do, and we are coming at you, I guess, now in official 1080p. Welcome, everybody. I think I gave you the eye flash there in the intro.
Well, at least you didn't take my line this time.
I didn't take your line. No, I mean, we
we had that line.
Yeah, we had 3 episodes where we just nailed the intro, and then I go and totally mess it up, and then there's all this nonsense. So if you got the holy crap eyes, that was because I was shocked I didn't mess it up for a 4th time. So hey, here we are. This is episode 5. We're really excited about the momentum we're building with the show. So here we are, episode 8, and we are off to the races, podcasting, being sleep better guys, mattress guys. Last week I was a mattress and, or not mattress rather, but Box Spring Foundation guy.
That's right.
Went out to the Amish countryside, Western Pennsylvania, got a whole bunch of Amish-made heavy-duty foundations, or as our listeners would know them, box springs. The updated term is foundation. All your support is in a mattress now, but we buy those direct from an Amish outfit in the western part of the state, Homer City to be exact. And funny thing about that trip, there's one of the guys there is a real smart aleck. And
one of the Amish guys?
Yeah. Real comedian and joker. My truck broke down. A new truck, no less, 600 and some miles on it, the rental truck we had. And he says, when I want my truck to work, I give it a carrot and smack it on the rear end.
Yes.
His horse.
Yeah.
A horse, of course, is a horse.
Mr. Ed, I get your
Like
reference.
that.
Yep.
On episode 10 of Lancaster Connects, we're joined by Penny Talbert from Ephrata Public Library and Rob Reed from the Science Factory. On episode 11 of Lancaster Connects, we're joined by Ann Williams from Lancaster City Alliance and Chris Trendler from Decades. On this special pre-Memorial Day episode 12 of Lancaster Connects, we're joined by Anne Marie Shaw from Building Bridges Foundation and journalist, historian, and author Larry Alexander. Coming to you from the Dream Room at Gardner's Mattress & More, Lancaster Connects is brought to you by the Sleep Better book, right over my shoulder. You can get the Sleep Better book.
The other shoulder.
Right. You can get the Sleep Better book by going to gardnersmattressandmore.com. We'll mail you a free copy. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com and we'll get you your very own copy of Sleep Better. I've really gotten into podcasting lately. If you're looking for some inspiration, some motivation, and you're in your car, turn off the news, the talk radio, even the regular radio, and listen to us, because we can give you some joy, right?
We can give you some bloopers, that's for sure.
Yeah, the blooper. We need to do like a whole episode of Jeff screwing up. I
don't think it's just you.
I think we could get 7 episodes out of that.
I gotta wear a couple of jackets. Baseball practice starts tonight. It was supposed to be Wednesday. Well, it rained, and now it's tonight, and it's going to be about 43 degrees
with 7-year-olds.
Yeah, a bunch of them, and I won't take your advice and plunk one.
That was to be off-camera stuff, man.
I know it was in jest.
Yeah. To fill the listeners in, the suggestion was, if they're not listening, you plunk
Give them a fastball on the ribs.
Yeah.
That's the way. Yep. It's
the way I was brought up. my
first kids respect.
My first baseball coach, no kidding, smoking cigarettes on the mound, and he smoked them like this. You know, it was if the pen is the cigarette, it was like this, and he just lob it in at you. And
What a time.
And I mean, man, if you didn't get back, I mean, if he had no problem giving you the sweet chin music, no problem.
The 80s were fantastic.
They were fun times.
I think my goal is to try to weave a Seinfeld reference into every podcast.
Every podcast should be every day.
Well, you know me. That's normal.
Yeah.
You know what was neat this morning? I got in, and the first thing Nick said to me, he's like, I saw you guys 3 or 4 times in my news feed.
There you go.
Yeah, we're just showing up.
So we've moved beyond mom.
Yeah, we're and
in the echelon of podcast video show success. Moms, employees, right?
Yeah,
we're getting
there.
Great success. Great success. How you can help your neighbors by joining the Lancaster Connects community. This is very important to us, so we'll talk about that. Our Pet of the Week segment, Kermit the Dog, not to be confused with his cousin Kermit the Frog.
Hi-ho.
You just, look, if you've got your spouse at home, right? I've got a work spouse, and I learned something new about, I learned something new every day. The singing and now the Kermit noise, that was pretty good.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
So, the funny thing about the Kermit noise is apparently when I raised my voice and so during basketball, I was announcing the players' names. I was like we 6 and 7-year-old boys.
I know exactly where this is going.
So I raised my voice, and apparently I sound like Kermit the Frog when I get loud.
Well, at any rate, you can get all of our hijinks on our podcast show. Remember, this show is also available as a podcast. You can find the links at lancasterconnects.com. Please like and share this video. Leave a comment. Tell a friend about this show. We would greatly appreciate that. There on the screen, you can see the various podcast icons, so it might remind you, oh yeah, I listened to that one. Search up Lancaster Connects in that one. We'll get you square.
So let's bring on our guests. We said hello to them earlier. Maybe we can get the story from Penny. Penny's from the Ephrata Public Library. Penny, and there's Rob. Hey, Rob from the Lancaster Science Factory. Penny, go ahead and tell your story. That might have been traumatic, perhaps?
Well, it was traumatic, and it was Valentine's Day, I believe, of 2003.
Okay.
And my husband at the time was my brand new boyfriend.
Yep, and Jason, he was former Gardner's employee.
Right, many years ago. Took me to the mattress store to look at mattresses, and I was greeted by a barbershop quartet that followed me around the store singing to me for Valentine's Day, which was horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
So and apparently I was part of this barbershop quartet, which I was in the Lancaster Red Rose Men's Chorus with my friend Greg Mazurek, and he was the director of the chorus at that time, and I was there with him 1 year, and part of his barbershop quartet. He was my daughter's
music teacher.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I knew him from there. So yeah, you guys followed me around the store as I ran behind mattresses to hide from the humiliation, because there were a lot of other people in the store at the time who had no idea why I was being followed by men singing love songs to me.
So, was there more? So songs? So there was more than one song?
It was about 20 minutes. Yeah, it was horrifying.
So Rob, poor Rob. Welcome, Rob. You're kind of coming into this conversation like I am. Like this is totally new, some strange information.
Yes.
So Rob, Rob, do you sing, by the way?
No, God, no.
I was so surprised. For everybody listening, our production team kind of took over a little bit. We've been so busy here at the store, took over helping us get guests, and I think they hit a home run. Having Michelle and the Wolf Sanctuary join us. If you're like one of those impatient folks like me, and you want to know immediately what Wolf Sanctuary is, you can go to wolfsanctuarypa.org. And if you're Ben, you would go www.wolfsanctuarypa.org.
O-R-G.
Yes.
For those that don't know.
So welcome, Michelle. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you in just a second. All right. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Wolves, right? To show? Later on?
Yeah. I mean, are you the guy that at Christmas time, as the kid's opening up the present, you're like, enjoy your PlayStation? Seriously? Well, you want to welcome the next guest?
Jeff noticed on Facebook that my wife tagged me in a Facebook post. There's a lady in Lancaster County who is referred to as the egg roll lady, and she makes some fantastic egg rolls and fried rice. And she typically pops up at like yard sales, different neighborhoods. People request for her to be like at their yard sale and whatnot,
event or party,
and
whatever.
You go to get. She's pretty quick, but she has a line like 15, 20 people deep. People follow her around. They, obviously my wife does. So
is it like egg roll groupies?
It probably
Kinda
egg roll
like
groupies.
Grateful Dead, how they have the whole people who they've developed a whole ecosystem of people.
Right,
along.
stickers and the whole thing.
Nice.
You have to be careful though. There is an imposter. Because, I went to a neighborhood one time, this was a couple years ago, and there were signs for egg rolls. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I was in the right neighborhood and I went this direction. Here I was at the wrong egg roll lady. And I got
you got inferior egg rolls?
I got inferior egg rolls and I got yelled at when I got home.
Well, speaking of, got yelled at. You brought home the wrong food, man. Anyway, recently there was a survey locally of cheesesteaks. And I happen, I know it would be hard to believe, but, I happen to be a fan of cheesesteaks, if you can't tell. So my favorite cheesesteak locally would be Cravings Deli over off of Lidditz Pike, kind of sits behind the bank there on the corner. They make a really great cheesesteak. They know how to make it. I happen to make pretty good cheesesteaks. I'm a connoisseur. I do them on my Blackstone. And I'll give you a little pro tip. If you don't want the soggy bun, and this is technically cheesesteak blasphemy. And we're going to have, real quick, I'll leave you hanging on cheesesteak blasphemy. And behind the scenes here, we've got a great production team, Get Super Cereal. So in my ear right now, I've got Simon and Billy, our producers. They're telling me that Audrey wants in on the egg roll discussion, so we're going to get her in real quick. Matthew, if you've got a restaurant you like, we'll bring you in. We're going to kind of go off script because the producers, this is your fault. Simon,
Audrey's in the background going like this.
Yeah, tag me. Anyway, cheesesteak blasphemy. So here's what I do for the cheesesteaks I make when I'm doing them camping and in the backyard on the Blackstone. Because I hate when it falls apart because you got the cheesy, greasy goodness.
It all falls out the bottom.
Yeah. You don't know, the soggy bottoms are bad. Anyhow, prosciutto. Take a little thin slice of prosciutto. Do all your stuff. Chop up all your meat. Get it cheese in there. Little flash of the prosciutto on the griddle top. Put that on top. All in the bun. You've got a fantastic carrying device for all that cheesesteak goodness, and that's the way it goes.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So anyway, Audrey, egg rolls. What do you got?
Oh my gosh, the egg roll lady is amazing. I found her at a yard sale a few years ago. I have been following her ever since. She definitely has a Facebook following. I'll spread the word to my friends and let them know. Let's meet up at this yard sale with the egg roll lady. I guess we'll have to see what happens with COVID, and if she comes back out, I think she will. But I can definitely vouch for her egg rolls are exemplary and very good.
Well, and that was the point of the. So my wife tagged me in a Facebook post of hers, like 3 minutes before the podcast started, and said, we got to that Saturday night dinner is the egg roll lady. So we're definitely going there tomorrow.
So hang on a second. So can we gauge pandemic, movement? Positivity by when the egg roll lady pops up and the frequency thereof, kind of like the groundhog in the shadow.
The world is getting back to normal.
Is that what it is?
If you see the shadow of the egg roll, it's safe to come out.
Yeah. That's great.
We're so blessed, and I'll tell you, I came the long way to Lancaster County. I'm originally from Venezuela, South America, and came here to boarding school and then to college in Pennsylvania. Met my husband, and then he was from Lancaster County, so I ended up here. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else because of what we've already said, the quality of the people and the quality of life. But even though we're a small community, look at the arts and theater that we have, and and the great restaurants that are getting the attention of even New York City. So we have much to contribute. And then our children have the opportunity to get good education, great education. But we need everybody to be able to enjoy all of this. And affordable housing is definitely a major need in Lancaster County. I think I already mentioned that more than half of those that we assist are employed, but they can't afford. The average rent for a family is $834 in Lancaster, and that's out of the reach if you're making a minimum wage. So people have to work, multiple jobs in order to be able to afford a home. If you're on disability, you're likely going to be in a boarding house. So it's affordable housing. It is a problem that Lancaster recognizes and are working on.
I think oftentimes people look at giving of time or giving of money or donations and trying to make an impact. They think that something big needs to happen and that they're not maybe able to make something big happen. And I don't think that should be the mindset that people have. It's easy to look at something like the Extraordinary Give, which is fantastic, and think, well, I don't have that kind of money. I can't give the way that others can give. But I think if we use our eyes and ears every day, just in our normal walks of life, a difference can be made to somebody by just doing something small. Helping somebody across the street, maybe not, making an impact, or it might be just a silly example. But I think if we just look for small things that we can do to make a difference in somebody's life, and we look to do that often, we listen to each other and we use our eyes to see what small impact we can make. And those small impacts can make bigger impacts. And I think that's, not just something for Lancaster, but just in general. But I know there's hundreds of opportunities that we all are faced with in a week's time.
I was, we were kind of, in the parking lot in the little complex there for the carnival, and I see this little guy. All of a sudden, he's aside of the trailer singing, and it was would be your nephew. Is that right,
yeah.
Bubba?
Yeah.
So here's Bubba. He's singing his heart out in the pouring rain. And he just wanted to get the national anthem off to kind of kick off the convoy, because rain or shine, the convoy is going to roll on. And, I see him sing and I say, gee whiz, what a shame for this little guy. He wants to sing, main stage got shut down because of the rain. So I reach out to our Barnstormers contact and I say, I know you've got the spots filled, but we've got to find a way to get Bubba in front of a big crowd. And so that's what we did. And that's how I became kind of connected to your family, got to know what you guys do. And long story short, we got Bubba in front of a Barnstormers crowd of, I think, about 5,000-6,000 people. And he sang God Bless America and brought the house down.
The dude has some pipes.
He's got some pipes for sure. Like I said in the intro, right? Like, you don't have to go to New York City to kind of connect to some of these things that you might think of. Is that, am I doing this justice? Feels like I'm rambling.
Yeah, no, you are. I think, people that have traveled certainly encounter things in California or in New York or wherever, and are surprised and pleased to see that, the Lancaster health community is really changing the landscape. And I always say that we like to hold it all. I think sometimes we need acute care, we need that conventional care, but we also need to kind of, take care of our bodies in a preventative way. So we need sort of the whole person care. And so our magazine really tries to be inclusive to that and not just promote one way of living, but kind of a whole way of living. And by the way, that what you were talking about with your initiatives to take care of the environment in terms of mattress waste, that was just one of the many reasons why I came to you guys to buy a mattress, plus the natural options that you offer and that kind of thing. But you really do have a mindset for our environment and our community that resonates with our magazine, kind of how we care for the community as a whole in all of these different ways, both the individual persons, but also how we care for our land and our resources. So I really appreciate that about you. And I think that's why you resonate. And that's why it makes sense to have that advertising relationship. So thanks.
So the whole premise of this show is about making connections, being impactful in our community. And one thing, we had the wonderful Wagner family on episode 2. If you missed it, you really check it out. They run a charity that their family created called Little Hands, Big Plans, all designed to raise money for Make-A-Wish. We became aware of the Wagner family through a Make-A-Wish event that we contributed to a few years back, 2018, actually. Hard to believe it's 3 years ago already.
Time flies.
Time flies for everybody. So Bubba, a very special child, Make-A-Wish child with health issues. And to refresh everybody, kind of catch you up, Bubba was going to sing the anthem at the truck convoy kickoff. It got delayed because of or got canceled because of the rain. We made connections with the Barnstormers, had them come out and sing mid game. God bless America, and just like knocked it dead. Nailed it. Did a fantastic job. So where I'm getting with this, this kid is such a special kid. His name's actually Keith, but everybody calls him Bubba. As his mother Tanya said, he was her little Bubba the minute she saw him and adopted him. Whenever anybody is brought to your attention who's struggling, whatever you do, give good thoughts, pray, add karmic goodness to the universe, whatever it is that you do, when you hear of a need like this, Bubba needs it. The Wagner family needs it right now. So I would just ask that you do that. All right. So Bubba, we're thinking of you. You had an impact on us. We really wish you nothing but the best. All right. So stay strong, kid. You'll get through. I think it's very easy for folks to take for granted, especially with the amount of food waste that goes on in our nation. I think it's easy to take for granted the fact that most can just go to their fridge, their cupboard, their pantry and eat. What, in your opinion, from you seeing this, what causes the need for food? Why are people struggling with that? Because I think it's important for people to understand that, because possibly if you understand this, that might be a way for you to connect and make an impact. If you understand that problem, maybe you can't donate time to a food pantry. Maybe you can't necessarily afford to donate food, but if you understand the problem, maybe there's an opportunity there to help. So why don't you share where you see the need arising from?
Well, obviously the pandemic has been a big factor. However, pre-pandemic, we're talking about people that are from working families that sometimes need a little help. It could be because their income is too low. And by the way, they qualify to get food by telling us, self-reporting their income. They have to fill out information once a year to get on our books so they can do that. So you're talking about, a lot of times you're talking about working people that have maybe more kids. One of the parents or both might be unemployed for a short time, so they're going to come in and get some help. These are people basically that are at the borderline of making it. And we also have a fair number of retirees, senior citizens that may be limited by their income, might be only Social Security. You think about senior citizens, some senior citizens, they worked all their life. They may not have had an opportunity for a 401k. They possibly were working or making it from paycheck to paycheck, and consequently, because of that, they could never put any money into savings. They just need a little help. And by coming there, we can help them with food and try to give them nutritional things that they can really use. And you wouldn't believe how grateful they are. They continually thank you. I had a person last week that came She was a first-time client. She was just there to get help, hopefully for a couple of weeks. And after we gave her the food and things like that, she started crying. And that's a tough one.
Met my beautiful wife, who I mentioned in the beginning of the show. We also did a charity event when we first started. The Sandwich Factory actually hosted it, so I have to give them a shout out. We called it Warm Up Lancaster. It was years ago when the news broke of the homeless man dying next to one of his compadres as they were huddled together for warmth. And we both realized that nobody should ever have to go through that, especially not in Lancaster City, or anywhere in the world for that matter. And we ran an event. It was covered by LNP. It was covered all over social media. And we ended up donating, truckloads. I don't remember the final amount, but truckloads of hats, gloves, coats, as much as we could to local homeless shelters, distributed them to the homeless. And that was kind of that was the defining moment for me. I just realized that there's so much more than just living here. It's every single person, no matter their situation or background, makes Lancaster as awesome as it is.
Simon, if we can get that Hempfield Food Pantry, oh no, we're not doing Hempfield. See, here we go. We're a little out there this week.
The blooper reel too.
Anyway,
a few years ago, probably about 15 years ago, when I worked in outside sales, I really hated cold calling, and I found that my best technique was to, meet somebody on the inside. So what I did was, my buddy Dan and I created a group called the Lancaster 505 Happy Hour Group, and we would meet every Wednesday at a different local bar for networking. And at that time, the other networking organizations were just all these entry-level employees, and they would shove a business card in your pocket and expect you to work with them. Well, our group was different. We were like, no name tags, come in, have a drink, see if you get to like us. And we would support local restaurants. Eventually, we got up to the point where on Wednesdays, we would bring between 80 and 100 patrons out to a local restaurant. And if you're in the restaurant business, Wednesday is usually your worst day. So near the end of doing that, I met my wife, and that kind of, curtailed my efforts of going out every Wednesday and drinking in bars. So, but I still had this list of contacts. So I emailed all of them and had this idea about doing the Santa Stumble. So the second Saturday of December, let's all dress up and go out and, do a bar crawl. Well, so many people RSVP'd. I thought, okay, let's take a $5 donation per person and we'll donate it to the mounted police. And I called whoever the duty sergeant was, just to let them know you're going to have 40 or 50 people walking around dressed like Santa Claus, and it's we're not going to cause any problems, kind of all that stuff. So we had fun. Well, then the word of mouth got out, and then the second year we had like 250 people, and then it just started going crazy. And I think our biggest year we raised over $40,000 in one year. Another year, 35. So we're well over $100,000 donated to the mounted police and K-9 units for the city.
The area that might work the best. If you're not able to foster, that's totally fine. We have volunteers that help with calling references for adopted families. We have volunteers that help with home visits. We do home visits for all of our adopters. So we have people going out all over the place and just meeting with potential adopters and talking about our dogs. We also have fundraising events that come up, and we have people that help, running outreach and info tables and helping sort merchandise and those kinds of things. So we're always looking for volunteers and people that are looking to get involved.
Sounds like a great thing for the Lancaster Connects community.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, listen, again, this is what this show is about. Audrey, I really thank you for your time. Simon, maybe we this feels like it's a good time to highlight our pet of the week, who just so happens to be from Pitties Love Peas. So maybe we'll get that up and I can talk about Nellie. But seriously, this is what this show is about. Yes, we're coming to you live. We forgot. We're coming to you live from our dream room. This is a place you can try a mattress out before you buy it. And there's beautiful Nellie. I'll get to her in just a second. Nelly. But, this isn't a show about mattresses. This is a show about giving back to the community that supports our business. We think this is a very unique way to do it. Highlight local charities, local heroes, local businesses doing good, and create a portal, a connection point, a hub for people to make better connections into where they live and want to remain, and build the strength of our community. So please go to LancasterConnects.com. If you have 5 hours a week, you can give 1 hour a week, you can give. We're not
people who we know are searching. Like Google provides a ton of tools, and then the social media platforms as well, that we can make sure that we're only showing ads to people who are interested in the products and services that our clients have to offer. And then Google specifically, like you guys as an example, like we're not going to have you guys show up if someone goes in and types in swimming pools, Lancaster, PA, because it makes absolutely no sense. But if someone types in anything related to sleep or mattresses or things like that, you can optimize a website in a way that they'll show up your website on Google when that type of search happes.
Yeah.
I bored Ben so much he left.
Somebody. No, not at all. I think actually why Ben disappeared is very connective to something you just shared, which I'm very impressed by. I mentioned earlier in the show, we're on the grind here. We're short-staffed. We're actually recording this episode before hours. We're running a couple minutes behind where we got the doors open. We have a delivery truck that arrived. And right now, in the crazy logistical times, maybe you've heard there's a ship stuck in the Suez Canal. Logistics are crazy, so we're not going to turn away freight, which has our mattresses on for our customers. So that's where Ben had to run to real quick. But we're going to steer this back. We ended about sending you around the county, family in tow, and then the next two events were murder. So we're going to wrap up with Full Moon Comedy. Barn and Barrel at the Mount Hope Estate in Manheim, 8 to 10, Saturday, April 17th. Tickets are $15 in advance or $20 on the day of. And again, you can go to PA Ren Fair. I liked how you spelled that because, it's the old English spelling of fair, I guess.
Yep.
So PA Ren Fair, FAIRE, PARenfair.com. That's Full Moon Comedy. So it looks like a lot of events to do in and around Lancaster. A lot of fun. And all jokes aside, I'm sure the family will enjoy all of it. Even though I kind of thought it was pretty funny. We're going to send Ben around and then it's murder time.
I'm wondering if Joe might be able to get them to howl.
Come on, Vivian.
Okay, it's Vivian.
Shut the front door. Oh, wait. That was Joe. Oh, there it is.
That's awesome.
That is just incredible. Joe, you're very good at the howling because you fooled me. Totally got me.
So they're all gonna.
I thought Vivian was.
That's the ventriloquist act from earlier. The egg rolls were fantastic. But the date was it more consisted of an hour-long wait on a sidewalk in line, which, that's what you expect when you go to get popular food. It was at a yard sale. She was there. I pulled up. I had to park 2 blocks down the road and walked up, and there's a line, and you just wait. And it was kind of like the Soup Nazi episode from Seinfeld. I was nervous getting up at the front of the line.
Serious?
Well, because you have to place your order right. Do you get 12 egg rolls or 24, and then you
get
a
thrown
box
from the sidewalk if you don't do it right?
She's very nice. They're very nice, but it's definitely an efficient process. You get up there, you place the order, they put it all in the containers, and you go on your way.
Apparently, there's a whole pressure of 2 blocks worth of people lined up behind you.
That's what I'm talking about. So I place the order, give them the cash, step aside, get the food. I pictured Costanza in line at the Soup Nazi stand. But no, they were fantastic. Egg roll lady.
So I'm pointing on the screen. You can point on the screen on your own watching, but I'm pointing at the screen. How was the little dipping sauce?
Oh, that's great. Yeah. It's kind of like a duck sauce, but she puts some spice in it. Oh yeah, it's really, really good.
If you can't tell, I'm a fan of dipping sauces.
Yep.
You know, I love like just kind of laying out 2-3 different cups of things. And even if it doesn't necessarily complement egg rolls, like, oh, you know, I mean, a little blue cheese with French fries. I like that from time to time.
It's fantastic. I'm actually crying inside because I just started a gluten and dairy-free diet.
I wasn't going to go there.
And, not necessarily by choice, but kind of is. We don't need to get into why. But I can't have,
Yeah, you went out with a flash and a bang with the egg roll lady. I noticed that Ben's salad was the most salady definition of salad yesterday as we were eating lunch in our office. It was very
it wasn't
salady. It was very like
it wasn't as disappointing as I thought it was going to be.
But it had a very salady noise to it. If that makes any sense at all. It was a lot of crunch. It was very salad-like. And I kind of felt the internal weeping a little bit, but it'll be for all the better. It'll be good.
It was a true big salad.
So, guess we've got a local history spot. Did you know that the first courthouse in Lancaster County was in a pub? Do you know that, Holly or Michelle?
No. I don't think I did.
Holly
I'm
has
not
no
surprised. I'm not surprised.
Holly just heard pub. She's like, it's past noon. We can drink.
Which one?
Yeah. So we're going to jump in here. So when Lancaster County was established to rid Chester County of its thieves, vagabonds, and ill people, on May 10th, 1729, the provincial government of Pennsylvania reminded the new commissioners that several important tasks had to be accomplished. The three biggest were selecting a county seat, erecting a courthouse, and building a jail. I just had to deal with those people from Chester County.
Yeah, it's not a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, maybe that's why the lighthouse stands at the Lancaster-Chester County border.
It's a beacon for them coming across.
But seriously, I mean, Lancaster is a pretty rich area for history. At one point, Lancaster was the capital of the United States. And a lot of people have decided to make Lancaster County their home. And speaking of homes, how about that transition?
Oh,
just nailed it.
It's like a...
Just nailed it. Just hit it.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yeah. So when we're looking at mortgages for your home, Ben, why don't you ask Holly here?
Yeah. So.
Hello,
hey,
Ben.
Holly.
Are you there? Is this thing on?
Yeah, we're here. Yeah. You want to talk to us about the murder mystery dinner theater?
Seem to get the murder. It's like 3 weeks in a row now on the events. The schedule. I'm the murder guy.
And the train departs the station at 6 p.m. on those dates. So you can get tickets at StrasburgRailroad.com.
Liquor, moving trains, rescuing somebody. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to check that one out.
Adventure.
Now, everybody at the station here is a volunteer. We're 100% volunteer. I've been fortunate enough to serve in a number of different positions, from president. I'm currently secretary. I've served as a lieutenant, captain, assistant chief, and chief. And I'm currently serving as chief engineer on the apparatus. So covered most of the jobs here.
Yeah. So that's 52 years of volunteer service to the community. Do I have that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Well, that's incredible. So thank you for that. I know you're not looking for that. I mean, nobody does after 52 years of committing. You do it for your own reasons. But I'm saying that's just tremendous. So thank you for doing that for our Lancaster County community. That's just really incredible.
So it was, and this is where Ephrata, the town of Ephrata, started, here at the cloister, not downtown. The town itself really takes off when the railroad comes to town, and Mountain Springs Hotel, where people would come take the waters. But the town of Ephrata really begins here at the cloister.
I heard there's a connection with the Revolutionary War. What is that connection?
Sure. So the brothers here had a printing operation, and they printed the largest book in the colonies prior to the American Revolution for their local Mennonite neighbors. That book was about 1,500 pages. They made about 1,500 copies. They did everything here. This facility was selected to be used as a hospital after the Philadelphia campaign, the winter that Washington was at Valley Forge, the winter of 77, 78. Ephrata, as well as the Moravian Church in Lidditz and in Bethlehem, were used as hospitals. And at that time, when they brought the wounded here to be cared for by the brothers and sisters, and there were doctors assigned through the Continental Army as well. But one of the things that they did at that time was they found these empty pages of books, and they, they weren't bound yet, just paper. Continental Army needed paper. They used the paper to make musket cartridges. A musket bullet is essentially a paper tube. So they needed paper for that. Ironically, that book was printed by the Mennonites to teach their children nonviolence of their religion. So here's a book printed for, to teach passive nature of the Mennonite religion being turned into bullets. And obviously it was not very well received by the community or by the Mennonites.
Well, we keep our costs as low as possible because basically we're volunteer run. We have 2 very part-time paid employees. Outside of that, everything that we've done over the past 11 years has been volunteer. We hold as many fundraisers as we can. COVID really squashed a lot of that, as it did for all nonprofits. But the local community has rallied behind us, and we've done as many things online as possible. Last year alone, COVID may stop social events and may stop people from, getting together in large groups, but it didn't stop the cancer diagnosis. So last year alone, we helped over 200 patients that needed us. We provide gap funding for people that are battling breast cancer, but we also, let's say you're a brother or a sister of someone who is diagnosed, and you want to get the genetic testing, or you want to have a mammogram, or you need an ultrasound. Insurance companies don't always cover these things. We help with those as well.
Gotcha. And you mentioned the summer cash giveaway. We understand you had to apply for special paperwork for that. What's that about?
Well, what we do throughout the year, we have a game of chance license. We have a gaming license, and some people really give us a hard time. They're like, Linda, you really have a gaming license? Yeah, we need to. And the criminal background check has been done, and I cleared. So
Nisley Vineyards and Winery Estate, they've got a wine tasting and charcuterie. So did I say that right? Charcuterie. See, that's above my level of fanciness. So on the patio of your own picnic on the lush lawns of the Nisley Vineyards and Winery Estate, Monday through Saturday, 10 through 5, and Sunday 12 through 5, and they are located at 140 Vintage Drive in Bainbridge, Lancaster County, and you can visit their website for more information, nisleywine.com.
Damn good thing we didn't have you read the book. Words are hard today.
Words are hard.
Saturday almost was above your pay grade.
Yes.
It's charcuterie or charcuterie board.
And Saturday.
It's so funny because I have this joke with my sister about it's just cheese and crackers and meat on a board. Like everybody goes crazy for this stuff.
Right.
And I guess the art is in the art of the display. Right.
Sounds right.
I get that.
Yeah. You like it for what it is.
Back in the... That's an inside joke. We'll reveal that one on another show.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. But I get why the meat and cheese boards or charcuterie boards are something. I get it. As a chef, I worked at Zinn's Diner as a chef as a young teenager years ago. So I get presentation. But it to me, it's just cheese and crackers.
And meat, apparently.
And meat, yeah. Our producer's telling us it's meat as well. But I see an awful lot of cheese and crackers with it, too. So I stick with my assertion. Anyway, on to more meat. Always more meat to be found here. A couple phrases in that video remind you of how disturbing this problem really is, and the fact that it's happening right here in our town, which some may not think it could happen. You have a high school girl having her guidance counselor come to her saying she needs help. I mean, it blows my mind to think that can happen. And then you have another one of your ladies that you work with say, I get to be a daughter and granddaughter again. And just having somebody be that far removed from humanity by someone else is so disturbing to me. So, Alicia, here's the question that I have. What exactly does human trafficking look like here in Lancaster and Lancaster County?
Sure. So human trafficking can take on many different forms. And that's actually the reason why it can be so hard to detect it, because it can look very different to many different people. So depending on who is recruiting or who is in charge of luring females or males out of their schools or out of public places, it can look different. So we say for children that are in high school or children that are in grade school, it can look like them coming home with new jewelry, extra money. It can look like them having older friends, especially older female friends. So we find that a lot of the recruiting is actually happening with older females looking like they're friends of your child that are maybe taking them places or maybe pretending like they're doing them good things. And actually, they're actually introducing them to other people that are potentially bad. And then in older adults, what we're finding is that this looks more like somebody who's been taken over by an older gentleman. Maybe they were homeless. Maybe they were looking for work. Maybe they thought that they were getting help and they weren't. And what we find with trafficking is that it doesn't look scary to begin with. It's a slow fade. So these women really don't realize what they're getting into until it's too late. And then they really have no recourse to get out. The trafficker makes sure to isolate them, to make sure that they're afraid. He may beat them. He may threaten them. He may have lots of things against them, and he may take their children against them. So we find that single mothers that are looking for help are oftentimes brought into maybe a gentleman's house that he says he's going to help them, and he ends up then trafficking her and then using the kids as leverage. So there's lots of different ways that trafficking can present. And because of that, law enforcement is constantly trying to figure out what is the next way that the trafficker is going to use to exploit somebody for their purpose of gain.
I thought we were promised a food truck thing blinking on the.
Yeah, we got to get the wee-woo lights in here and the sirens. Yeah. But anyway, take it away.
Denver Fire Company in Lancaster will be hosting their second annual food truck fair on May 8th from noon until 7 p.m. These food trucks are scheduled to be there. Scoop-O Dough, Uncle Paul's Stuffed Pretzels, that sounds good. Savory Pumpkin Funnel Cakes, Katie's Cakes, Libby's Soft Serve Ice Cream, Laura's Handmade Chocolates, Holy Smokes Meats, Castanada's Mexican Restaurant, The Crazy Train, Fink's French Fries, and Hen House Grilling, and maybe more to come. The location is the Denver Fire Company at 425 Locust Street in Denver. More information at denverpafire.org/news.
So that's my stomping grounds, Denver. That's where when I moved here, that's where we moved to the county. I can speak specifically Castaneda's. It's fantastic Mexican food.
Yep.
We when we did our Gardeners Gives Back gift card drive back in December when restaurants were shut down pretty quickly for a second round or third round, whatever round it was. That was one of them I stopped at, and I just couldn't pass up the
empanadas.
The carnitas.
Oh,
I'm a sucker for pork carnitas. And it was like it was easily, I think, second lunch, but I'm not ashamed to admit it. It was fantastic. So check them out.
No shame in second lunch.
No shame there. Well, it was. I just had the pork. I didn't get any of the other stuff.
Okay.
So it was all protein, right? It was that keto, low carb thing. So it's all right. All right. Farm show milkshakes. I know this guy likes those.
Yeah.
So this is going on May 5th, 4:30 to 6:30. Farm show milkshakes will be at the Fritz Elementary School PTO Playground fundraiser at Fritz Elementary. That's 845 Horning Road in Lancaster. So go support them. I mean, again, this has been a sign of the times. All of these great organizations that help our community out, they need you, and you get a milkshake. I mean, milkshakes are really great. I'm a 50-50 kind of guy.
Oh, me too. Oh,
yeah. That's the way to
50-50.
go.
Yep, for sure.
You say 50-50 on a milkshake out of this area, they look at you like you got six heads.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I quick went over it, but what do you think of savory pumpkin funnel cakes?
I literally was just thinking that. I was like, I love funnel cakes. I was thinking that this would be really good. That would be my
I think everybody's
take.
had a funnel cake, but
yeah, there's a couple rules in my house. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, So fresh pumpkin pie is a must. I mean, you can throw the other pies on the table, but only with the pumpkin pie first. So that one, yeah, I'm feeling it.
I'd
with
be
you right
interested
there.
in what the savory angle is on the pumpkin funnel cake.
It's the fried grease, man. That's the savory part. That's what makes it savory, right? I mean, isn't that what it does? So,
with a great seal that was finally approved, and is on the back of every dollar bill. So if you look at it closely, and I'll hold it up again, grasping in the left talon of the eagle, and if it's not too blurry, you can see that the eagle is grasping a bundle of 13 arrows. Those 13 arrows are those 13 arrows are a reference to the colonies, but also a direct reference to that treaty conference held right here in 1740. So there you go.
Mike, I'm in awe, and then I sit here and realize I'm pretty dumb because that's right here.
Just uninformed.
Right here in town. Yeah. I mean, well, look, I'm glad you're here to inform me.
With a great seal that was finally approved, and is on the back of every dollar bill. So if you look at it closely, and I'll hold it up again, grasping in the left talon of the eagle, and if it's not too blurry, you can see that the eagle is grasping a bundle of 13 arrows. Those 13 arrows are those 13 arrows are a reference to the colonies, but also a direct reference to that treaty conference held right here in 1740. So there you go.
Mike, I'm in awe, and then I sit here and realize I'm pretty dumb because that's right here.
Just uninformed.
Right here in town. Yeah. I mean, well, look, I'm glad you're here to inform me.
Of it, and it's about 6 foot tall. It's a hydroponic
vegetable
garden. Right. There it is. There's a photo of it right there, but it's now grown way out beyond the lights. So we're harvesting there as well. And all the food that we raise goes either to the food bank or to our cooking courses at the library, because we found that as we started growing some vegetables, people were like, what's kohlrabi? And they wouldn't take it from the food bank unless we taught them how to cook with it. So we've been really busy trying to serve all of the needs that our community has by helping to be the referral agency. So we're not actually doing any of that social service work, but when people need those things, they come to the library, and then we can refer them to the best partner. And it's really saving all of us a lot of time.
What are some of the favorite exhibits at the Science Factory?
Oh, sure. So we recently expanded our water exhibit. That was a huge one that we completed the beginning of last year. And so that's a big one. Oh, this one that's actually pictured is awesome. That's my favorite one. That's the topographic sandbox. So funny too, we experimented with 3 different kinds of sand now it's actually jasmine rice. That's what we determined was the best thing to use. But it's really cool. There's a projector from above. And as you sort of weave your hands through the sand or rice currently, it sort of changes the topography of it. That's actually an image of an upcoming exhibit that we're fundraising for right now. We're expanding our bubble lab. And there'll be a component where you can lift up this ring, put yourself in a bubble. Solar power flower, that one that's on the screen right now, that's coming soon. We were about to expand into an outdoor space last spring. Last March, we were supposed to break ground. And I think you can imagine what happened with that. We'll be breaking ground next summer now and adding a few brand new exhibits outside, just adjacent to the Science Factory. The solar exhibit's one of them. That's one that we designed from scratch with our exhibit partners. A company called Kidzibits out of Minnesota, actually. But we had researched a bunch of other science centers to see what they do with solar power and actually didn't find anything off the shelf that seemed quite cool enough. It seemed like, you adjust these solar panels and, you see something spin or a light bulb lights up. And we just thought that wasn't quite engaging enough. So what we're actually going to do I thought this was a really creative idea that we came up with, is as you turn it, it'll start playing a piece of music. So if you imagine hearing like a symphony, you might start hearing the strings. And as the power starts to build up, as you optimize how the solar panels are aligned, you'll start to hear different instruments in the symphony. So I thought that was a really cool workaround to make something interactive, teach kids about solar power in kind of a fun, different way. So that's one of the fun challenges of the jobs. I mean, this is a dream job. I have to.
What is the Building on Strength plan?
Sure, that is the community and economic development plan for the city of Lancaster. And what that means is it's a 15-year plan that was developed by the community. It's the city's plan, and the Lancaster City Alliance oversees it and kind of make sure all of the recommendations in the plan are being implemented. So for 15 years, we're responsible for making sure that this plan happens. And you've probably heard the term before, but it's kind of like we do the herding of the cats. So people are really into the plan and they work really well with it, but the Lancaster City Alliance makes sure it continues on its path to success.
We got our food truck alert. Sort of the flashing light.
Wow.
There we go.
I'm like a child. It's like, gosh, it's like, can I make the horn go?
All right, you can turn off the siren. That's enough. All right, thanks.
Now, when I order my Farm Show milkshake, I ask for the blended, both vanilla and chocolate, because I just lose all ability to think straight and I don't know which one to pick, so I get them both. I don't know about the rest of you.
Very nice.
So what do you think? I mean, food trucks are kind of this thing that's more recent development. Chris, do you think they complement your business, compete with it? Where do you see the value add for food trucks in the city?
Yeah, no, I think that it's not necessarily direct competition. A lot of the food trucks are offering smart choices as far as like, maybe it's not a full meal, so it's more of like an accent kind of thing. So you could still go to a restaurant and hit up a food truck or vice versa. So I don't see that as a big issue. We've actually talked to a couple as like, do you want to pull up in front of Decades? We'll have the music truck pull up too. And then, maybe we do like one was like shaved ice, and maybe you could get some alcohol from Decades and combine all these things. So, I think working together on that stuff, you can get some creative things coming out of it. And, so I don't, I think there's space for everyone. So it's not direct competition or anything. And, you can't pick up our restaurant and pop it into your neighborhood too. So there is something to say for their business plan, and they are entitled to grab that business where they can. So good for them.
I just kind of like lit up with childish giddy joy because Chris, you just uncovered something. I've always felt guilty about, dinner, right? Your second lunch, your first dinner. You just so eloquently rephrased it as an accent meal.
Yes, an accent meal.
Whether it's an AM accent meal or a PM accent meal or after dinner accent meal.
If you're not walking around with a Wocket in your pocket, then I don't know what you're doing. You need in between meal snacks.
Yeah,
I don't think my dietitian wife approves of this eating plan.
We'll just tell her
I like it.
We'll just tell her we didn't record this one.
Yeah,
and
she's not on the call, so.
That's right. She doesn't watch this.
I'm focusing on diet again, and I have reminders, and that's what that was. That's my bad.
After we talk about cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah. It's going just okay.
Is that the reminder? Get cheesesteak egg rolls?
It's going to be the new reminder, yeah.
So that like could have been better. So at any rate, Decades is really a couple to maybe a few or more businesses in one. I mean, you've got bowling, you've got arcade, you've got restaurant, you had weddings, so entertainment venue, event space. How does a business like that come about? Where did it start? What was the idea, the grand plan? Tell us about that.
Yeah, you're right. So,
for years and years. So it's three childhood friends: Adam Ozimek, Jonathan Yeager, and myself. We all went to Hempfield. There's a good picture of us when we were a little younger and skinnier. And so we started as a company as doing Lancaster Craft Beer Fest. But we've always been friends from our Hempfield days, and we just kind of decided that Lancaster needed more entertainment options. We always thought, oh, you can get a good, cocktail, you can have a nice meal, but really kind of live music was the extent of activity. And we, as consumers, felt that there was a gap that needed to be filled. And we also thought that we could be the ones to potentially come up with something to fill that gap. And Adam and I have always been big, retro. They weren't retro at the time, but video games, and now they're retro. And Jonathan loves bowling as well as Adam does too. So it just kind of came together as a blend of, we should do a barcade somewhere. And we always thought, like, potentially we could add bowling if the building allowed for it, because there's not a lot of buildings in Lancaster City that can accommodate several bowling lanes as well as an arcade and restaurant. And it's interesting because this is a nice tie-in with the Lancaster City Alliance. We made them aware that this was a concept that we were looking to do, and they actually provided us with a few people to contact about some of the buildings. Now we wound up looking at some of the things that were suggested through them, and ultimately found the Star Armory, which is the perfect building for us. But the Lancaster City Alliance really does make those connections, and they were a part of our process and a very helpful one. And we still look to them and their leadership all the time. So they, even in a challenging year with the pandemic, Lancaster City Alliance was kind of a hub for information and did a great job of connecting the best information to the people that needed it to figure out how to kind of best navigate the pandemic and operate their businesses, decades included. So, I mean, it was just such a good tie-in for them, and their help was invaluable. And I know that a lot of restaurants kind of feel that way. So their work kind of continues throughout every step of your business existing, before it's actually open, and then they support you even further. So they're just a great organization. Can't say enough about them.
Well, I'm a big fan of bourbon.
I was going to say that's like Jeff time.
Yeah, for sure. Booker's
bourbon and cheesesteaks.
Probably my. Yeah. Booker's I like.
Set the reminder.
It all. It's like I start down one road, then it's Michter's, then it's Maker's. It just doesn't end. If it's brown liquor, I'll drink it for the most part. And it's good you're doing the charities. So.
Our mission is to provide a safe space, personal growth through equine assisted activities for veterans and their families, as well as those suffering from trauma and loss, and those who are struggling with cognitive and emotional challenges. We have 115 volunteers that have signed up to participate with us here at Building Bridges. Some of them are here once a month, and we value every hour of time that is donated to sustain farm operations. We have some that are here weekly. We have some that are here several times a week, and we have some that just come to help us for the major events. We have 2 major events a year, usually on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And at our last Veterans Day event, that was before COVID, we had 99 named tagged volunteers in place to care for a crowd of 500 people. It was a great time. All right, in conversation with West Point Academy administration, they gave us permission to use this video. And so with that, we're taking liberty to include it in this interview here today. U.S. military band that's out of West Point. I think they do a fabulous job of reminding us of the energy and the youth that is put on hold when our veterans head out into deployment circumstance.
Oh,
right, well,
say,
we'll cue it up.
can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight?
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's pretty powerful.
Pretty
That
awesome.
is. I think that's a tremendous way to lean into our pre-Memorial Day show. So thank you for sharing that, Anne-Marie. That was really great to see all the joint forces come together like that through West Point Academy. So thank you to you for sharing that with us, and thank you to them for allowing you to use it. We appreciate that.
We got 3 food trucks or events to share, and you can get more information at our website, lancasterconnects.com. The first one, oh, there's the signal. There it is. So, do I have to wait for the sound to end? There we go. All right.
Dick Winters was actually born in Lancaster in 1918. Lived his first 2 years in New Holland before his family moved to Ephrata, which is where he's from. He has a lot of his family had his grandfather and his great uncle owned hotels in Lancaster at one point, in Ephrata at one point. So they were kind of big social circles. It's his hometown. He lived there for 10 years before moving to Lancaster. Anyway, Dick Winters went on to join the Army after graduating from F&M in 1941, and then the war came along, and he enlisted as a private. But before the war ended, he'd be a major and a battalion commander. So he was a very competent person, very, very patriotic person, very determined. His men loved him. He led them and never put them at any undue risk if he could help it. He was just an excellent officer, an excellent leader, and I met him in 2001. Back in the 1990s. Author Stephen Ambrose, who's a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, picked up on the story of Easy Company. That's his originally. They the story of Easy Company. Easy Company was kind of a member of the entire war in Europe. They jumped into France on D-Day. That's his home in Ephrata, where he lived in Ephrata. They jumped in that, and they fought in France, they fought in Belgium, the Battle of the Bulge, they fought in Holland, and when the war ended, they were on Adolf Hitler's balcony at Berchtesgaden in the Bavarian Alps, and that's Dick right there, and his cousins. So Ambrose picked up on the story and decided to write a book about it called Band of Brothers. The book was picked up by Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, who pooled their resources to create a 10-part miniseries. That's Winter's home in Lancaster. A 10-part miniseries called Band of Brothers, based on the book, and that went global. That went viral. They would guess suddenly they were media idol. They got Dick coming up from all over, people showing up at his door just to meet him. He speaking engagements and just became a national, a worldwide celebrity. And that's how I met him in 2001. The miniseries was being aired by HBO, and my boss in the newspaper said maybe I should contact Dick because people be Yeah, and talked to this guy. So I tracked him down, and I went and I interviewed him, and it found out that when I found out together that our homes were about 150 yards from each other. We both grew up in on East Fulton Street, and we both knew the same people. I mean, I knew his aunt Lottie. When I was a kid, we used to rake leaves for her, and we used to shovel snow, and we used to do things like that. So I knew her, and Dick and I became friends, and that's how the book came about. About 2 years after I met him, my boss again said, "You should write a book about us. People should know who this guy is," and there's a lot of interest there. And he was right. The miniseries was like a media phenomenon, and Dick agreed to sit down with me and do interviews, and we put that book together back in 2004.
So, Linda, what do you love? Why do you love Lancaster? What do you love about the area here?
Well, I didn't grow up here. I actually grew up in northern PA. When I did move here after college in the early 80s, it still makes me 30, just so you know. Yeah. I love the diversity here. Yeah, I love the diversity, but having worked in a community and being a real active part of Lancaster community, I love how the community gives back and supports its own. There's what's not to love about Lancaster community. Seriously.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that we see that, once a year at the Extra Give. It always is a surprising moment to see the giving is every day, whether that's money or time, but that one day is always kind of a neat, refreshing day to focus on it. John, what about you? Why do you love Lancaster?
Well, unlike Linda, I've lived here my whole life, so I've never really left for any length of time. One thing I like about Lancaster is we have charcuterie boards, unlike Boyertown. Evidently, they don't have charcuterie boards.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I will ditto everything that Linda said about the diversity and everything. But one of the other great things about Lancaster is how centrally located it is. I mean, you can get to Baltimore, you can get to Philly, you can get to New York. Even Pittsburgh's just a long drive across the state, but it's just an awesome area of, whatever.
It's very connected to other things, right?
Directional ease is, I think, the way you were going there.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it is neat. You've got the train station. You can get into Philadelphia and New York pretty quick. I mean, this area is pretty neat. We enjoy it. We enjoy the community. That's why we do the show. Linda, Simon says it's not Delaware. But anyway, Linda and John, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
I think we're done.
Line 96 says that's a wrap. We're there. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Lancaster Connects. Go to helpthefight.org. Support everything Linda and her team are doing there. And John, thank you for nominating Linda. Thanks for tuning into this episode. We'll see you next week.
Get Super Cereal.